And joining me now for more on the shutdown, the Mueller investigation, and all the day's developments, Rasheedah Thomas joins us. She is the principal and co-founder of RC Communications, a public relations firm. A lot to get to. So much has changed in 24 hours. We have this Roger Stone arrest. We have the two bills that didn't pass Congress. Let's begin with that. Yesterday, the U.S. airport problems we saw earlier preceding this announcement by President Trump. What do you think was the tipping point? The poll numbers, what happened in Congress, all of it?
I think it was a combination. You know, our president, he really does care about the poll numbers. He very much cares about how people perceive him and how much they love him at any given point of time. But I think today with the airlines, with LaGuardia not being able to accept any more airplanes, you know, I wish that it had been the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who've really been suffering over the past several weeks. But I think today the tipping point was after the Roger Stone indictment, the airports really shutting down.
I mean, that announcement from the White House came so fast. Hey, the president is going to speak in just a few hours. What do you think the mood is on the Hill right now post-announcement? Is there relief? Is there some optimism to get back to work and work on a new deal?
Well, on the Hill, I think there is definitely some optimism, a little bit of triumph. I think the Dems, who don't usually stand their ground, did this time under the leadership of Speaker Pelosi. And I think they're feeling good about it. But a lot remains to be seen over the next 2 weeks because we have another deadline looming, February 15th. So we'll see what happens.
Could we see the State of the Union resume next week? I mean, the shutdown is over. That is something that the president and the speaker have talked about. To put this aside until the government reopens, it's going to happen. So can we see that on the horizon?
I think that was something else that really affected his decision today. I think he really, really wants to get in front of the American people. I don't know if that's going to happen next week. Speaker Pelosi has not said that it will happen. She said we'll talk about it once the government reopens. He hasn't signed it yet.
It's Friday.
He's supposed to sign it later today. So I think once they have that conversation, perhaps it'll happen on Tuesday, but that remains to be seen.
How significant is this Roger Stone arrest, and what does that say about where the Mueller investigation is at the moment?
You know, I think the Roger Stone indictment is big. You know, there have been 30-something arrests attached to the Mueller investigation. 6 of the indictments have been people in the Trump administration, in the Trump campaign sphere. But with Roger Stone, legal experts are saying that the indictment is one of these teaser indictments. There's so many things that they could have charged Roger Stone with that they did not. I think this is supposed to entice him to cooperate. He says that he won't. But we've seen many people like Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen say over and over again they would never testify against the president. But I think things get real once you're facing a significant amount of jail time.
What are you looking to see here in Washington in the next 2-3 weeks? We're heading into the weekend, but on Monday, is it back to work? What are you going to be watching for?
Well, thank God for the federal employees that it's back to work for them and it's back to work for Congress. I think we're going to see a lot of behind the scenes, well, we won't see them, but I think there will be a lot of behind the scenes wheeling and dealing between the president and Congress people on the shutdown. I don't think he's going to get the physical wall that he has promised. You know, he also promised us that Mexico would pay for it. We also know that that's not happening. We have Congress people like Jim Clyburn from South Carolina who are saying, you know, I support a smart wall, something with sensors and technology, but not a physical wall. That might be a concession that President Trump has to give into. It'll be interesting to watch.
Rasheedah Thomas, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.